Question and answers. Ask me anything. I'm Chris. This is Topher. This is Yellow Productions. We do travel guides that are fun, informative, and entertaining. And this is a live stream, special time, special day where we're just going to be answering questions. I'm glad a lot of you could join in. And so I've got a list of questions that people asked ahead of time, and so I'm just going to go ahead and start with some of these. If you've got some questions, please go ahead and ask. So the first question is from Ben Downs. Ben said, really? Ask you anything? Question mark, question mark? Yes, ask me anything. All right, next question. Alonzo Brooks asks, what's the most comfortable airline to travel with as far as space and service goes? The airline I travel with the most is United Airlines, but the airline that I think is the most comfortable is Singapore Airlines. Singapore Airlines has the most amazing service, the most amazing cabins, particularly if you can fly in business class. Singapore Airlines is also famous for their Singapore suites, which are basically these private rooms, private cabins, totally amazing. We recently flew Thai Airways out of Bangkok to Hong Kong. That was pretty nice as well. We really enjoyed the lounge where they were making fresh papaya salad. And also joining the live stream, Alex, Pop Music, and Chinmay. Welcome, hello. Thanks for joining in. And if you've got questions as we go, please ask away. Tissue Box 1 asks the question, are the $40 and $50 buffets in Las Vegas worth it? How's the food? Would you suggest any in particular? And so I'll kind of unpack that. The first question is, are the $40 and $50 buffets in Las Vegas worth it? Yes, I think they are. Some of them, but not all of them. First, I'll start with the but not all of them. There's the Caesar's Palace buffet. It's called Bacchanal buffet. It is like something like $60 or $80. I do not think that one is worth it. I think that's way too expensive. But we really like the Aria, the buffet there, and we also like the Wicked Spoon at the Cosmopolitan. Actually, we were just through Vegas few days ago, and we ate at the Wicked Spoon at the Cosmopolitan. Pretty good. And I guess it just depends on whether you can eat your value out of a buffet and whether you eat those expensive things. So like crab legs, that sort of stuff. We at the Cosmopolitan, we were trying to get our money's worth by eating, at least me, eating lots of dragon fruit. For those of you who watch a lot of my Asia hotel reviews, you'll know that I really like dragon fruit in Asia. It's super expensive in the US, and they had it on the buffet at the Cosmopolitan, so I was getting like plates and plates of dragon fruit to get my money's worth. There is a question on Facebook. Barb Milne Shea says, hello from Nova Scotia. Have you ever been here? I have never been to Nova Scotia, Barb. That is in Canada, right? If my geography is good. I went to school in California. No, it's not. It's not Canada. Okay, we have sound effects. So in Canada, I've actually only been to Halifax is the only city in Canada I've been to, and I was there in the winter, and it was very, very cold. Antonio asks, "What's your favorite buffet?" I think the one that I would just generally recommend in Vegas would be the Aria or the Wicked Spoon, those two that I just recommended. I think the Aria is a little bit cheaper, so if price is an object, then give that a try. If price is no object, then the Cosmopolitan. All right. I was looking why I was looking a little fuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? Does anybody know that poem? It's one of my childhood poems. Let's see. Remy D says, whoa, Friday night stream. Yeah, I figured for all the people who can't do my usual times Monday at 8 p.m., I would do a special one, particularly for the new year. That's obviously why the Christmas tree is behind me. We still haven't taken that out yet. But that's why it's just this general question and answer format. We'll be back to the usual schedule of live streams 8 p.m. Monday, coming this Monday and it'll be my 2018 year in review. And so Barb actually says Halifax is in Nova Scotia. So in that case, I have been to Nova Scotia, and that just goes to tell you how much my geography failed me. All right. And WFC 123 also said that Halifax is in Nova Scotia. SoCal Seth joined in, says, finally caught another stream. Welcome, SoCal Seth. Eric says, hi, Chris. So my friend Tyler says hi. Hi to Eric and Tyler. Tom asks if we hit up the Earl of Sandwich again for the holiday turkey sandwich last time in Vegas. We did not hit up the Earl of Sandwich this time. We were just kind of in Vegas on our way to Zion National Park, coming and going, and so we had a buffet. We had some new chicken. This place called, what was it called? It was called Hattie B's at the Cosmopolitan. They do Nashville hot chicken. It was pretty good, and actually I featured that in my What's New in Vegas for 2019, the video that just came out this morning. Friday mornings, the usual time for my weekly video. Zachary Smith asks, what's your favorite hotel in Vegas, both on the Strip and off the Strip? I guess that's two questions in one. Favorite hotel in Vegas on the Strip and off the Strip. My favorite hotel in Vegas on the Strip, I'll kind of rack it down to two. One's the Venetian. I really like the theming of the Venetian. I like the rooms. I like that they're big, but I also like the Wynn. I like the Wynn because it's a very kind of refined hotel. It seems like the riffraff from the Strip kind of maybe doesn't make it into the Wynn all that much, and so those are our two favorites on the Strip. My favorite off the Strip is probably either the Renaissance that's near the Convention Center or the Marriott Suites that's also kind of near the Convention Center. There was a question of if I can make a review on San Bernardino. That just seems like a really large area. So maybe if you narrow it down. But I don't make it up to San Bernardino all that much, but there's a lot of things in there. Stephanie has heard the Fuzzy Wuzzy poem. Excellent, Stephanie. Ben R. joined in, says, Happy New Year, Ben. Related to buffets, William Cohen says the buffet at the Rio is pretty awesome. And the Rio buffet, it's been one of my favorites of all time, actually. I've liked it ever since they started it up. I've just been disappointed recently because I feel like they've been cheapening things. In particular, they've been cheapening, I feel like, the desserts. And so the Rio buffet no longer takes my top spot. Webby says, hello, Chris from Kyabram, Australia. I've never been to Kyabram, Australia. I've never heard of it. But Webby asks, what's the strangest food you have tried? Ooh, strangest food that I've tried. The stinkiest food that I've tried is durian. We were just in Bangkok, and I had the durian sticky rice, which was definitely an adventure in eating. You can catch that one in my 7 days in Bangkok video, and also a little bit in my Bangkok food courts video. In Japan, I've also had horse sashimi, which is raw horse. It's sort of thin like a Pringle chip. Something that is weird that I didn't think I would enjoy that I've come to enjoy is in Japan, gyutan, which is cow tongue. Cow tongue, they slice it very thin, beef tongue, they grill it up, and it's actually quite delicious. But the first time I heard of it, I'm like, I'm not so sure about that. Let's see. Pamela says, my kids love you. Excellent, Pamela. I'm glad to hear that. Say hi to your kids for me. Topher says hi as well. Stephanie says, Uncle Ben Vids. Hi, Chris from Melbourne. Just came back from Singapore. Your videos really help. That's awesome, Uncle Ben Vids. I hope you enjoyed Singapore. What was your favorite thing you did in Singapore? Or favorite thing you ate? Curious. Stephanie says, what's the best place to eat at Fremont Street? Great question, Stephanie. I have a perfect answer for you. And it's in the video I just posted this morning about what's new in Las Vegas for 2019. It's this place called Flock and Fowl. We just found it this time we were there, and Flock and Fowl, it's like a Singaporean type restaurant. They specialize in their Hainanese chicken rice. Really delicious. Check that out. It's actually just like one block off Fremont Street, but it's like one block off Fremont Street and Las Vegas Boulevard, kind of between the part that has the big neon signs and the part that don't. Ben R says, question from Australia. What made you visit Adelaide last year? It's my hometown. I was in Australia for a conference. We were visiting the university there in Adelaide. The University of Adelaide? I think there's like one big university there, right? D. Del Fiero says, is there any country you'd never visit review? North Korea. I'm not sure I would leave North Korea. So that's it. Kimberly Cable says, hi from Bucierias, Mexico. I'm sure I pronounced that poorly, but welcome to the live stream. Beth joined in, says hi. Hi, Beth. Remy D says, do you think the World Resorts Las Vegas will revitalize the Northern Strip? I sure hope so. Resorts World Casino. So this is in Las Vegas. Resorts World, it's a big hotel casino complex in Singapore. They're opening up a new casino in Vegas. It's supposed to open next year in 2020. It'll be the biggest casino in Las Vegas. It'll have 3,500 rooms. I'm really excited for it. I ponder about the Asian theme. I don't know. I find that kind of weird for Vegas. So we'll see. But yeah, that part of the Las Vegas Strip has been pretty Deadsville for a long time. Melanie J joined in, said, wow, I actually made it for one. They're usually at 11 for me. Welcome, Melanie J. I'm glad you could make it in. I'm glad this 6 o'clock time worked for you. William Cohen says, the Mob Museum is a great place to go. That's in Las Vegas, right? I've never been to the Mob Museum. What is cool about the Mob Museum? SoCal Seth gives a knock and a scratch. Knock, scratch, Seth. I Love My EQ asks, how many times have you been to Vegas, Chris? Ooh, a lot. It seems like I end up there about twice a year. And we live, like Southern California. It's a 4 to 6 hour drive or an hour flight. I venture 30 times, 40 times. I don't know, like probably a lot. It's a lot of times. Devin Duncan asks, how long have you had Topher? Ooh. I would say that we adopted Topher in 2004 or 2005. So you can do the math on that. That's 14, 15 years, something like that. So that's how old Topher is. By the way, today, it's always a question of what I'm drinking. Today, I'm drinking this tea drink from Chopher Tea. Chopher Tea, it's a Taiwanese tea shop. And this is a matcha tea latte with honey. Matcha, Japanese tea powder, milk, and then honey at the bottom. It's pretty sweet. And I love the straws. Let's see. On Facebook, Catalina Smith joined in, says hello from Western Pennsylvania. Hello, Catalina. And Dawn asks on Facebook, just curious, do you have a regular 5-day-per-week job when you're not vlogging, or is this your main gig? Dawn, that's a great question. This is definitely not my main gig. I would call YouTube a passion project or a engaged hobby. But yes, I have a regular 5-day-week job when I'm traveling and not traveling, frankly. Okay. Whoop. I don't quit it when I go on travel. All right. So, Tech Ghost YT says hi. Hi, Tech Ghost. Scottman895 Travel says he still needs to go out to Las Vegas one of these days. You do, Scottman895 Travel. Dallas Cook says, I want to go to Vegas for the first time. What would your recommendation be for a good hotel that wouldn't kill the wallet? Dallas, that's a great question, and it really depends what you want. The ends of the spectrum are so varied, and the prices vary so much in Vegas. My standard recommendation is the Venetian. I think you can get rooms there sometimes for like $200 or less. It depends on the season you're going. If you find that's too much, check out some of the Marriotts. Those often have cheap prices. We like the Mandalay Bay, the New York. That's my easy set without knowing what you really love all that much. Melanie J says, I went to Vegas this summer, binge watched all of your videos on it beforehand. Very helpful. Melanie J, thank you very much. By the way, as I'm making my way down these comments, and by the way, I know I'm behind, and you all are asking questions, leaving comments, and I love it. I'm just gonna keep going so I don't miss anybody. One thing that I have a question for all of you, and so since this is 2019, it's the new year, I'm kind of thinking about, hey, where are we going? What should we do? What should we focus on? Question is, what do you guys want to see more of on Yellow Productions? Or what do you want to see less of? Like, what do you come here for and you really like? Like, you really like the live streams, you really like the food videos, you really like the things to know, you hate the 360 videos, you love the 360 videos. Let me know what you like. And I might not read all of them out loud during this, but I will definitely take them and put them in this little document that I'm trying to figure out what I should do this year for channel strategy. So let me know what you want to see more of. And actually, if I'm going down the comments like this, I may read them all out loud too. So, Dallas Cook, let's see, we already answered Dallas Cook. Alex Jossie says, I just have to say I love the Christmas decor. Our family is very big on the Christmas traditions. Well, thank you very much, Alex. Yeah, this is our Christmas tree. We get a Christmas tree every year from Costco. So this is our Costco Christmas tree. It's got like In-N-Out Burger decorations, these like little In-N-Out Burger lights. It's got cupcakes on it. OC girl, she really likes Starbucks, so we have a lot of Starbucks ornaments. Like, can you see this little cup down here? Yeah, like these little mugs, these little Starbucks mugs. And I think that actually, if like the focus goes in and out on this video, I think it's slightly because of the LEDs on the Christmas tree do something with the focus on it. So I apologize if the focus is coming and going on the video. And by the way, behind me here, we have Topher. On top of Topher, we have Monaco. If you've watched the Nomad hotel review or some of our Vegas reviews or some of our Zion videos, you'll have seen Monaco. He's a little polar bear. And we just came from Zion and it was really cold. So he's got these little yellow socks to keep his feet warm. We've got this really large penguin here. His name is Pingy. And if you look in the back, there's another big polar bear. His name's Dutsa. And then somebody who's hiding that you can't see. And I have to go get him because, you know, for anybody who likes Japanese anime, you'll probably know this character. Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro. All right. Precious Heart says, what would you say is the best budget hotel in Japan? I may try to go sometime after college. Toyoko Inn would be my recommendation for the best budget hotel. Toyoko Inn, it's this like line of business hotels. The rooms are small, but they're clean. You won't have like a lot of space to really like, you know, play Twister or like dance a disco in the room. You might have to open your luggage on the bed. But if those things are okay with you and you just want a comfortable place to sleep, mostly comfortable, that's clean, check out Toyoko Inn. They often have really convenient locations near the train stations. Melanie J says, my travel partner didn't want to go to a buffet in Vegas in fear there wouldn't be many options for her. Shellfish allergy. I need to go back just to eat. Melanie J, there's like ton of food options that aren't shellfish, so I think she'd be okay. And Webby answered my question about where Kyabram is. It's in Victoria, which is near where Melbourne is. Melbourne in Australia. Chinmay says, what do you have to say about the so-called $20 sandwich trick in Vegas where some people sandwich a $20 bill between their credit card and photo ID to receive a better view or room? I never do that, and I wouldn't do that just because I feel like that's a bribe, and I feel like that's really lame. That's my opinion. And I feel like it's really lame. If the hotel can upgrade you, they just should. And it shouldn't be like, oh, well, if I give $20 to the person at the desk and I treat them better. I personally don't like the whole bribing system, so I'm not into that. That's how I feel. Travel Man Podcast says, I'm shopping at the moment. And where did that go? Too many comments. Where did you go? All right. I'm shopping at the moment, so have you silenced? Just thought I'd say hi and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Travel Men Podcast, also known as Ben. And sorry you can't hear the sound effects because I'm silenced. Welcome. Brian says, I've watched all of your Hawaiian videos. Any other recommendations while visiting? Brian, I think I have most of the recommendations in the videos. If I didn't say it, if you're going to Oahu, I really like the Polynesian Cultural Center. Make sure to check that out for the nighttime show. It's amazing. SoCal Seth says, how come Barry doesn't get more airtime? That's a great question, SoCal Seth. He is back there on the sofa. Barry. Barry's pretty cool. We've got two of these. We've got two of these polar bears that are slightly confused. This one's Barry, and because he's not sure whether he's a polar bear or a panda, and then we've got this one. He's not sure whether he's a polar bear or a penguin, but this one's pretty cool because he's got sunglasses. Look at that. These sunglasses, they're Tube Buddy sunglasses that I got from VidCon, so that's where a lot of that conference swag goes to. All right. Melanie J says, ever go on a cruise? Maybe. So we took like a one-night cruise from Sweden to Norway, like Stockholm to Oslo or something like that. Yeah, OC girl, she gets a little bit seasick, and definitely was seasick on that. So, yeah, well, right. So we are really not cruise heads. Lollyland? Lollyland says, have you ever bumped into any celebrities in Vegas? Thanks for your awesome vids. We saw Celine Dion once shopping at Louis Vuitton at the Wynn Hotel. So that's the one time we've seen a celebrity in Vegas. Let's see. Tom asks one more question. What lucky profession are you in that allows you to travel to these great cities around the world? Thanks. Tom, a computer scientist by background, so a lot of software type stuff. Stephanie says, thanks for answering my question. You're welcome, Stephanie. WFC 123 says, how many states have you been to? I don't know that as a number off the top of my head. I'd guess half of them or 2/3 of them. Most of the lower states, most of the eastern states, most of the western states. Not really a lot of those top middle states. That's kind of the empty part of the country. I've not been to Wyoming. All right. Let's see. HE110 says, did you notice the new check-in times in Vegas hotels all 3 p.m.? It's not what it used to be. I'm curious, HE110, what did they used to be? I've always been used to 3 p.m. as a typical check-in time. Dorit says, Singapore, Lao Pa Sat, yum, did that 3 weeks ago. Thanks for the recommendation, Chris. Excellent, Dorit. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you get the satay there? Or what did you get? Alex Jossie says his favorite restaurant on Fremont Street is the Coney Island Hot Dog just outside the D Resorts. Can't remember the name. Nathan's Hot Dogs, maybe? That's from Coney Island. Hyro Productions has joined in. He says hello. Pisces Man says, do you like state fairs? The State Fair of Texas is huge and very exciting. #1 state fair in the U.S. by attendance, visited a few years ago. I love fairs. In Southern California, we have the San Diego Fair, we have the Orange County Fair, we have the Los Angeles Fair. I love visiting all of them. Maybe not the Los Angeles one because it's way too hot, but I love it if it wasn't so hot. I've never been to the State Fair of Texas. I'd love to go. I love fair food. I love fair rides. I love pretty much everything fair-wise. Let's see. Zachary Smith responds to my comment about Resorts World, the Asian themed hotel, wondering if that makes sense after the demise of the Lucky Dragon. For those of you who aren't familiar, there was a hotel that opened and closed in Vegas called the Lucky Dragon. It was an Asian themed hotel. It's like gone up on auction. Nobody's bought it. Nabada says hi. Hi, Naba. Um, Vapin Jason says, so jealous of your travels. I never get to 10% of the destinations, unfortunately. It's okay, Vapin. You've still got lots of time, lots of places to go. Mira says, hey, remember me? Of course I remember you, Miras. Welcome back. Pop Music says, the Mob Museum in Vegas offers 3 different types of tours. They also have some rotating exhibits. What kind of exhibits? Like, can you like dress up as a mobster, like shoot like a mobster machine gun? William Cohen says, great old school steakhouses, the Golden Steer and the Steak Place and Circus. Any other suggestions? I don't know about old school steakhouses, but if you like new school steak, one of my favorite steak places anywhere is called Maestro's. They have a location in Vegas in Crystals, which is the Aria Shops. Maestro's makes a really delicious prime rib, anything steak, and a really delicious butter cake. Junior M says, what are your thoughts on Minneapolis? Have you ever come this way and will you? I have never been to Minneapolis. I think the closest I've been is like St. Louis, Missouri, but I've never been to Minneapolis. I'd like to someday. No current plans to, though. Ben called me a workaholic. Yeah, that's me. Pop Music says, I always stay at the D on Fremont Street, which is one of the hotels downtown Las Vegas. Nabada says, if you're planning a trip to India, come to Assam, India. Why should I come to Assam, India? What do you like about that place? Why should I come there? I Love My EQ says, are you giving socks away, Chris? Today, I will give away your choice of a Yellow Productions socks or Yellow Productions t-shirt. Live stream will be coming up. Well, the giveaway will be coming up shortly, so hang on for that. Brian is bored, says, do you do all your own editing on your videos, or does someone help you? I do all of my own editing on the videos, and I do the editing in Vegas. Though some of the pictures that I use, if you see like still images, then those are taken often by OC Girl with her much fancier camera than mine. I just take pictures with cell phones. Michael Wilson on Facebook asks, have you been to Rome, Italy? Yes, I have been to Rome, Italy. I like Rome, Italy. A few times. Greg Guth says, at the Mob Museum, you can go through FBI training, through gun training, and a self-guided tour. Interesting. Like an actual gun? Like, can you shoot the gun, or they just tell you how to use the gun? I'm curious. Naba says, love to watch your videos. Ben says he has to move on. One Man, One Camera says, your recent video about Vegas was pretty good. Thank you, One Man, One Camera. And I've been meaning to respond to one of your comments earlier, but I just haven't gotten to it yet on my Italy video. I would imagine that the Italy in LA has the really expensive Marvis toothpaste. For those of you who don't know Italy, it's this big Italian supermarket, food court, and they have this Italian toothpaste called Marvis, and they sell it for like $23 a tube. I would imagine they have that in LA too. It is not the cheapest place to shop in the world, but the food is pretty good. Alex says he wants to see more blooper videos. All right, Alex, thank you for that. Ty loves the 360 videos. DeRitt says he loves the tips on each city in the U.S. Thank you very much. Let's see. Hyro says he wanted to see more foods that don't break the wallet. So cheap eats. Lollyland says, I need to know your birthday, and I come here for Vegas tidbits. I'll be vlogging at the Venetian in a month. All right, excellent, Lollyland. William says he likes things to know. Oh, and these comments, they skip down. Things to know, great food places, how to get a cheap room. Yeah, I should do that. That's one, how to get a room cheap, like tips for getting cheap hotel rooms. DeRitt's like the bloopers. Scottman895 says, I love the videos where you talk about 10 things in a particular location. Awesome, Scottman. Albert Harry says, are you married? The answer is yes. And my wife, who goes by the name OC Girl, is running the sound effects back there. So to prove it's not me, see, I can't clap with my hands like this. So yes, in fact, I am married. OC Girl is often the one holding the camera, running the camera when we are traveling together. And you can see her a little bit in some of those hotel reviews, occasionally in a mirror, things like that. She likes to be mysterious. One man, one camera. Love the bloopers. Excellent. Thank you very much. Tom says he loves the Vegas videos the most, but we enjoy all the videos. Gives us a chance to see inside of other countries. Stephanie says videos on things to do under $50 in various U.S. cities would be good. All right, interesting. Thank you, Stephanie. Now Naba wants a Canadian travel video. Reno says, have you tried Hell's Kitchen? We have not tried it. We shot it for the new things in Vegas, but we have not eaten there. Melanie asks if you ever plan on doing a video in New York City during New Year's Eve. Ooh, I think we'd have to wear diapers if we go to Times Square on New Year's Eve, and so that's kind of kept us from doing that. That's crazy talk. Julian says, what's a good hotel in London with a great location? I've got 2 suggestions, and I've got reviews on them. They're both Marriott's. 1, the Marriott County Hall, and 2, the Marriott Park Lane. If you find my hotel review playlist, you'll find those in there. They should be in my London playlist as well. Stupid guy, not stupid guy, Spud guy, sorry to mess up your name, says, could you do some flight reviews? It's all part of traveling. Yeah, I film those and then I never get around to editing them. So I'll do that. I've got one from like Swiss Airlines. We flew to Zurich. Julian says, what good places in Kauai to go sightseeing if you have a few days? Julian, I've got like 3 or 4 videos on Kauai, so check those out if you haven't. But I think you can pretty much see most of Kauai in 3 days. Certainly the biggest attraction is the canyon, Wailea Canyon, Waimea Canyon, one of those 2. Make sure you see that. Make sure you see the waterfalls. And then make sure you check out the North Coast, which is kind of like the Jurassic Park looking part of Kauai. Lucas says, if you had to choose a Disney park in Orlando to go, what would it be? So I've been to the parks in Orlando, and so if I were to go back, it would be Epcot, just because Epcot, I feel like, is the really unique park in Orlando. The Animal Kingdom is pretty unique too, though I think Epcot's just kind of cooler. Philip Verbeck joined in and says, on my way into work, just thought I'd say hello and Happy New Year to you all from Iowa. Flyover country, enjoy the videos. Thank you, Philip, for joining on your way into work. Chinmay says, he saw Derek Jeter in the Bellagio, obviously as a celebrity. On Facebook, Barb says, I like your best of and worst of videos, Vegas. All right, cool. Thank you, Barb. Greg says they use screens to shoot at the Mob Museum, so fake guns. All right, Kylie says, hi, are you ever going to do any videos on Adelaide? If I go back, maybe, but no immediate plans to. Let's see. Dana says, heading to Japan next year. What are 5 things or 1 that I can't miss? Taking 2 kids, 10 and 12. Dana, depends. What part of Japan are you going to? It's like a super huge country. Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto. So, yeah, you let me know that, and then I can give you that answer. Like, where are you going? And I'll tell you what you can't miss. SoCal Seth is heading back to Oahu. He'll get some footage of Koalina for me, as well as film an Oahu Eats video. Thank you, SoCal Seth. So he'll be guest providing a video upcoming from Seth on Oahu Eats and some the Marriott Vacation Club there in Koalina. So I'm looking forward to it. D. Del Fiero asks, what's the best place to visit in Asia for the first-time timid traveler? I suggest Hong Kong over Singapore, getting the edge because I believe Hong Kong to be more cost-friendly. I would vote Singapore over Hong Kong because Singapore is more English-friendly, though you're right. Hong Hong Kong probably can be less expensive than Singapore hotel-wise, but I feel like food-wise, Singapore is less expensive. So my vote goes to Singapore. And I think the airport's amazing in Singapore. Not to say that Hong Kong isn't. Um, Doritz answered my question about where he ate at La Passat, the hawker center in Singapore, the satay from stand 7 and 8. Applause! Applause! Sound effects. Applause. I'm trying to get some applause. There we go. Look at that. All right. JRM says, I'm missing out for not going to Wyoming, Yellowstone. Very beautiful out there. I'm not like avoiding it on purpose. I'm just saying I've never been to Wyoming. Actually, we've been to very few of the national parks. We recently went to Zion in our quest to like visit some great parts of the actual country that we live in. Yeah, of course, when we went to Zion, it was like shut down because the whole government shut down, which was kind of a drag. But some of it was still open. Vinny says, what is the weather like in Los Angeles in February? Nice, I think. I think February is a good time to visit Los Angeles. Probably highs in the 60s or 70s, lows in the 40s or 50s. You can pretty much wear shorts and t-shirts all year round in Southern California, though it depends how far from the coast you are. Yeah. Electric Rick says, where do you find the best pinball machines to be located? What's the... Really hate it when this YouTube comment thing goes all the way to the bottom. What's the most unusual pinball machine you played? I find the best pinball machines to be located in Las Vegas at the Pinball Hall of Fame Museum. This place has hundreds of pinball machines, and the most unique machine that I've played, they've got this one that Williams only made 3 machines of. It's a tri-level machine, so it's not like long, it's actually tall, and the ball goes up to these different levels. And actually, the Pinball Hall of Fame, pretty excited to find out they're going to be building a new location on the Las Vegas Strip, and the building is supposed to look like a pinball machine. Wow. So that should be pretty cool. Let's see. Rue Kidding Me says, I'm off to Japan and will be in Kobe. Do you have a name of a steakhouse teppanyaki? First of all, I would say, yeah, don't do teppanyaki in Japan. I mean, teppanyaki is like very American, like Benihana of Tokyo. I mean, you will find teppanyaki places, but you'll find tons of Kobe beef restaurants. I mean, if you just look up TripAdvisor or Yelp or things like that, you'll find some. I think the teppanyaki is kind of a thing they do for us tourists as opposed to something they do for them. And Junior M says I should come check out the Mall of America. I'd like that. That would be fun. Chinmay says I shouldn't travel to India because it's nasty and dirty. All right. Thank you, Chinmay. I like Indian food, though. Drew Lawson says, my dogs, Jack and Lucy, would like to know, what's the most dog-friendly places you visited? Here, Southern California, probably. Seems like everybody in Southern California has a dog. If you've been watching my YouTube stories, you'll know that we've been hiking a lot in the new year, and there's like always tons of dogs on the trail. You go to LA, Rodeo Drive, people are carrying their little dogs. There's like dog-friendly patios, so definitely LA. Emma Nickinson on Facebook says, we've been watching your videos for the past 48 hours. Wow, Emma, that is quite a binge watch. I appreciate it. Take a break. Go to sleep. You must be tired by now. But come back and watch more videos. I love it. Thank you, and thank you for joining in. Okay, I'm going to pause the YouTube comments for a little bit, and I'm going to go to the comments people asked in advance to make sure I actually get to them. So Alex asked this earlier. He said, what's going to be your first trip of 2019? Anything special you're looking forward to doing? I get that question a lot of where are we going. We really don't plan all that far ahead. We sometimes only plan out 3 months ahead, a month ahead, a couple weeks ahead. And so we actually don't have anything planned for 2019 right now. Hendrik asked the same question ahead of time. We just got back from Zion National Park in Vegas. I'm sure I'll be in Vegas again. I seem to be there quite a bit. So that's one I probably know I'll be at. Justin Thomas asks, would you book a connecting flight with an airline you hold elite status with? or a direct flight with an airline you don't hold status with? And that's a complicated question, and it really depends on a lot of things, and so I'll try to make this short. But it depends on like how I feel I'm going to be treated on that airline, and then also, do I need more mileage for status this year? If I need more miles for status this year, I'll take the connecting flight with the airline that I'm trying to get points on. If I don't need any more miles, then I'll take the direct flight. All things being equal, I prefer direct flights. I've been stuck in Dallas way too many times. Ming Ming says, enjoying your videos, dragging my husband to watch with me because we're both travel fanatics. Well, Ming Ming, I hope you're on or watching the archive. But Ming Ming asked a few questions, and Ming Ming's from Germany, and so I'm going to take the questions one at a time. Ming Ming says, what are my top 3 travel experiences? Number 1, feeding the deer in Nara, Japan. Nara, Japan is the city in Japan. There's like 1,000 wild deer that live in this city, and just feeding them is a magical thing. We rented kimonos. It was just so much fun. My second best travel experience are the hawker centers in Singapore. The hawker centers in Singapore, these really cheap, awesome food places with like upwards of hundreds of food stalls. I just love them. And number 3, best travel experience is getting spotted by fans, getting spotted by you all. Actually, on this last trip we were on in Vegas, it happened 4 times. 4 different people spotted us. We were at a dessert restaurant. We were at the Link. We were in the hotel elevator. And there was one more. So it's just super cool. And the first time I was ever spotted by somebody who watched my videos on YouTube, it was actually related to best travel experience number 1 when we were feeding the deer in Nara, Japan. This guy comes up to me and he's like, it's you from YouTube. I'm Joey from the Philippines. We've watched all your videos coming to Japan. And I was like, it's super awesome. One of the ones that's slightly weird is when somebody comes up to me and goes, can I take a selfie with you? And I have to pause and I have to be like, have you seen my YouTube videos? And then usually this is like, oh yeah, that's why I like to take a selfie. And I'm like, okay, good. Because that lead-in was kind of creepy. But just walking up to somebody on the street and saying, can I take a selfie with you? Just to be sure, if any of you see me and you want a selfie, just say hi. It's totally cool. Just don't lead in with the, can I take a selfie with you? In the most creepy voice. All right. So, yeah, that's about how I feel. And actually, there was one time when I was in Singapore, actually at the La Passat Hawker Center, where this, call her a 13-year-old Australian girl came up to me and said, can I take a selfie with you? And I was like, oh, have you seen my videos? She's like, yeah, we take a selfie. She walks away. And then she comes back with her dad, and I'm like, oh my god, is the dad coming back to take a selfie with a 13-year-old girl? He's like, no, we've all watched your videos. My other daughter wants to be in the selfie too. And then they were actually in that video. So if you see a group of Australians in my Singapore Hawker Center video, that's where they came from. Okay, there was a question about what's my favorite food anywhere? Singapore. The best and the cheapest. Let's see. Ming Ming also asked, is YouTube my main job? I answered that earlier. No, it's more of a passion project. She asked what my goal is for the channel. World domination? I don't know. 1 million subscribers? That'd be pretty awesome. 100,000 coming up soon. The reason why I say those are goals is when you reach 100,000, YouTube sends you like a plaque. They send you the silver play button, and then the next milestone they send you, the next one is at 1 million. Question of where am I based? We are based in sunny Southern California, Orange County to be more precise, which is basically halfway between San Diego and Los Angeles. Orange County is the home of the happiest place on earth. That's right, Disneyland in Anaheim. That's what Orange County is most famous for. It's also famous for the Fox show called The OC, or it's famous for like Laguna Beach. All right. And then final question from Ming Ming was, will I integrate sports activities into my videos? I'm not very sporty. I have one video where I do snorkeling in Maui, and I review the snorkel mask. So it's probably about as good as we get there. Shed Chick asks, I got questions about Japan. Is it better to base ourselves in a city and do day trips on the train, or change hotels and keep moving around? We've got 2 weeks and would like to see Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. Is that too ambitious? How much time would you recommend in each place? Shed Chick, I don't think that's too ambitious. I think you can do the 3 of those in 2 weeks. I generally recommend going most places to like get a base and then go from there. So if you're doing Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, I'd recommend something like 5 or 6 days in Tokyo, 5 or 6 days in Osaka, visit Kyoto from Osaka, and then consider in the middle in Hakone, stopping there, which is the Mount Fuji region. Maybe stay at like a traditional Japanese ryokan in Hakone. Robert Griggs says, watching your videos in Singapore, we're going there in December 2019 and want to rent a home away house. Which neighborhood do you think we should stay in? And it's actually funny because Sarah Adams responded to Robert and said, I just got back yesterday from Singapore and stayed on Orchard Road. If you're after shopping and eateries, it's a great area to stay in. That would be my recommendation too. Actually, it's one of the things I love about doing this whole thing on YouTube and doing these live streams. I actually learn a lot from you guys. I love to see like when you respond to other people's comments. Sometimes you get answers before I do, which is super fantastic, and I love it. And I love the conversation. I love that it's not just me wah 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 talking head to a camera. That'd be really boring. All right, the last pre-question question is Pam Patrick says, coming to LA next month, staying in Pacific Palisades. What do you suggest I do, and where should I eat? So there's a lot of things to do in LA, but I'll just recommend these because they're near Pacific Palisades. Number 1, visit the Getty Museum. Number 2, visit the Santa Monica Pier. And number 3, visit the Venice Beach Boardwalk. Not because it's lovely, but because it's something that's just such a classic place. And a question to eat at this Italian restaurant in Venice Beach called C&O Trattoria. It's one of our favorite Italian restaurants. Vinny on Facebook asks, how much rain in LA in February? Does it rain a lot, like all day, or just a little bit? I'm from New Jersey, so it's cold here. Vinny, it rarely rains in LA. It's not to say that it doesn't, but it rarely rains, so I wouldn't worry about rain. Again, you might come and it might be rainy, but if it does, it's usually for like half day, 1 day. It's not like for days on end. And Momita says, your tips for Hawaii were super helpful for our trip, especially the cheap eats. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Momita. Okay, so I want to, let's see. Let's go back to the comments now on YouTube. Marcelino asks if you've ever visited Indonesia. I have not. Scottman895 asks you if you've ever visited the state of Michigan. I have not. Melanie J says, what's your favorite day trip? From where? Maybe from Tokyo. Favorite day trip is to Nikko. That's a pretty cool day trip from there. Let's see. What's a day trip from... I don't know, day trip from around here. Day trip in LA. Probably one of our favorite day trips in LA is this place called Oak Glen. It's famous for apples and apple picking, which is great in apple season. It's like about an hour and a half or 2-hour drive in the mountains outside of Los Angeles. Kelly says, hi, Chris. Was wondering why you didn't do a video from your trip to Adelaide. No good footage. I was there for like a day and a half. That's why I didn't have enough time. Dorit says, behind every great OC girl. What do you mean behind every great person is OC girl? And I agree. So obviously you see me certainly as a face on this, but I couldn't do this without OC girl. Especially if you watch my bloopers video and I do like 12 takes of something, she's always very, very patient until it's maybe take 14. Yeah, everybody has a limit. Yippee says, have you lived in San Diego your entire life? I was born and raised in San Diego. Actually, now we live in Orange County. I've also lived on the East Coast of the U.S. for a little bit. I've never lived out of the U.S. as a country. WFC says, what's your favorite national park? Zion, because it's literally the only one we've been to. Does that sound okay? I've been to two: Zion National Park and the Cabrillo National Monument in San Diego, which is like the smallest national park ever, which probably doesn't count. So, what's your favorite national park? WFC 123. Um, Justin Thomas says, "Hi Chris, do most people in the U.S. work between Christmas and the New Year?" I would say most people probably take that off. It's not to say that all people do, but that's generally I generally take off a little before Christmas into January. Oakhurst says, "Do you ever go to Vegas show Opium or Absinthe?" I've never been to either of those shows. I've heard they're popular though. DME Cortez says, "I was wondering if any major mishaps happened to you when traveling, like pickpocketed or mugged." The worst thing that's ever happened to me traveling is when I was in Hawaii, in Oahu, on the escalator. And I misstepped when I stepped on the escalator. I was wearing sandals, and the escalator took a good chunk out of my toe. I ended up in an ambulance. I was at Kaiser, and there's a big skin fly. Like, I won't make it all detailed because it's kind of gross, other than to say it took about 2 months to heal and it kind of sucked. And I had to go back the next day, and I paid to have a changed first class ticket the next day because I had my big foot in a bandage. So that was the worst thing that's happened. Albert asks, "Have you been to Dubai?" I've never been to Dubai, so I have no recommendations. C. Dell says, "Hi from down under. Are there any options for people who don't like spicy food in Thailand?" Yeah, I think there's a lot of non-spicy food in Thailand. I was actually surprised at how unspicy a lot of the food was. I expected I'd be dying a lot more, but I wasn't. Remy D says, "Good timeshare presentation in Vegas is the Caesar Entertainment within the Link Hotel. They target couples, got a Link high roller ride for 2 free breakfast and buffet credit." Well, I'm glad that worked out for you, Remy. I generally avoid timeshares like the plague. Doritz wants to see flight reviews. All right, thank you, Doritz. Ryan Briggs says, "I love your videos." Thanks, Ryan. Junior M asks if people recognize me. I think we answered that. Funny situations while filming. This was kind of funny when we were in Fukuoka. We were filming like a Fukuoka video at the Daizaifu Tenmongu Shrine. And there's a camera crew standing on this main street to the temple. The camera crew, 3 Japanese guys have the camera, 1 girl who's like the producer, and a Caucasian guy. And they're definitely looking at us as we're walking forward. We walk up to them, they come up to us, and they say, "Hi, we're from a Japanese television station, and would you be willing to, can we ask you a few questions?" And we're like, "Sure, you can ask us a few questions," with these big cameras. And then they're like, "Hey, would you mind if we just follow you around? Like, just like visit the temple, and we're just gonna follow you around, just like pretend we're not here." Really hard to pretend that like a camera crew that has like a big camera and a boom microphone and things like that aren't there. But it was pretty neat. So myself and Topher, we were actually on Japanese national television, as was OC Girl, and it was a video to teach people how to speak English. Pauline Reed says, "Love your videos, Chris." Thank you, Pauline. I appreciate it. Let's see. One Man, One Camera says, "OC Girl was in the background of one of your YouTube stories. I thought it was some random chick trolling." No, that was definitely OC Girl. She likes to get in there. She's a little blurry and just waves in the back. She loves you guys too. Is there a heart button on that sound effect? Oh. All right, there you go. Remy D says, "Star Wars Land," I guess about Disneyland, coming soon. Melanie J says, "In your opinion, what's the dullest place you visited?" I hate to really insult anybody. Dullest place. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that a little more. I generally find things to do in most places that I go to. Albuquerque, New Mexico? That place is pretty dull. Though the New Mexican food is good. The like Santa Fe style, or you can get things Christmas style. Yeah. Tom says, how about a top 10 pools in Vegas? Interesting. Thanks for the suggestion, Tom. Future Death, favorite place in Asia to visit? Japan, Tokyo, Singapore. Um, those are top two. Oakhurst Axe says, what is your favorite? Main Strip, Vegas, or Fremont Street? I like the Strip better. I don't really like Fremont Street. It's kind of run down and sad. Uh, I love my EQ says, have you thought about doing a collaboration video with other YouTubers? Suggestions, Walter's World. Yeah, it'd be totally cool to do a collaboration with Walter's World. I think he's a busy guy. We just don't end up in the same place. I've done a few collabs with other like local YouTubers. Jefferson Graham, Trip Astute are a few, but I'm certainly open to more. It's just always hard to do travel things, like meet in the same place at the same time. Marcelino asked what I think about President Trump. I just really prefer not to discuss politics. That's something I really make no friends. Spud Guy says, what cities and countries are on your bucket list? I think Dubai would be cool to visit that I haven't been to. I've heard a lot about it. I don't know that I really maintain a bucket list. Like Greece would be cool to visit. Some more Eastern Europe. We'd like to travel through Eastern Europe a little bit more. Dana Pierce says, I like live videos that are not during work hours in Australia. Dana, that's great to hear that you could join. Alonzo says, what's the best place to enjoy great beaches without too much crowds? Alonzo Brooks, my number one recommendation would be in Maui at the Andaz Maui. If you haven't seen my review of the Andaz Maui, it's my favorite hotel anywhere. It's got this little beach right in front of it. Check it out. You'll love it if you go there. It's not cheap. Stephanie says, I'm from Scotland. Have you been here yet? I have not, Stephanie. It turns out my name, Rainey, is actually a Scottish name. Gaijin71 says, Malaysia would be worth your time. I'd like to visit Malaysia, too. William says, hello from Los Angeles, 70 degrees today. Very nice. Gustavo says, are you ever coming to South America? We'd like to. We've considered visiting places like Peru or Machu Picchu. That'd be fun. We just haven't made it. Seems like all the flights are expensive and hard from here. D. Del Fiero says, what's the highest luxury accommodation you've experienced versus the lowest luxury? Highest luxury accommodation, Park Hyatt, New York City. That place was fantastic. I stayed there on Hyatt points. I've got a review of it. You can Park Hyatt, New York City. Review, lowest luxury, cheapest hotel, worst hotel. I don't have a review on this one, but it was the Saint Tropez Hotel in Las Vegas. It's right next to the corner of the runway. And I checked in and I asked for a quiet room, and the guy goes, dude, there are no quiet rooms here. Oh, okay. And I get to my room and the air conditioning, it's dripping. And I tell the front desk and they bring me a bucket. Really fancy. I try not to stay in hotels like that anymore. That was, I think I was like 21 and was in Vegas. Let's see, William Cohn, national parks to go to near Vegas, Red Rock Canyon, Valley of Fire, Mount Charleston, Hoover Dam. SoCal Seth doesn't like Dallas. It's the ISIS of airports. Joshua asks, who helps you film your videos? It's OC Girl. I'm running out of time. Oh my gosh, and I'm not going to make it to all the comments. Well, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the comments at, let's see, Love Laner, who asked if I prefer the win or the encore. And I'll either do another Q&A session, or I'll do another video where I answer the questions, because I want to make sure you get all of your questions answered. But now, before we conclude, I want to do the giveaway. So you'll have your choice. If you win this giveaway, you can either win a fancy Yellow Productions t-shirt, or you can win a pair of Yellow Productions socks. My question to you is, what trail did I hike today? Now, this is an interesting question because I didn't talk about it during this live stream, but if you were a true fan of Yellow Productions, you would see my YouTube story. I'm not sure. I've been trying out these YouTube stories, and so I want to see if anybody's seen the YouTube stories. I did this YouTube story where I did the hike. It's these like videos that are like 15 seconds, and they expire. Before I check this, at least 35 people saw it, and Alex wins. Very good. It is the Car Wreck Trail. Very good. Thank you very much. And so, if you want to see a picture, that I'll post another picture later. I also posted it on Facebook at 6:30 as a scheduled post during this live stream. Alex, I'm curious, did you see it on the YouTube story or did you see it on Facebook? That doesn't affect whether you win or not. But Alex, send me a message on Facebook what your address is, or you can send me an email at chris@yellow.net. It's got two W's, YELLOWW.net. And so for those of you who saw it on Facebook, very good, because you're looking at Facebook while you're watching the live stream. So awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much for everybody who joined in. I love that you all watch. I love the conversation. Great questions. I'll make sure to answer more of these later. And be sure to tune in to my next live stream. If you're not one of the East Coast people, that it's too late. But this coming Monday, the usual time, 8 p.m., I'll be doing a year in review, the best videos of 2018. We'll be watching some of them together, and I'll be doing sort of like a director's behind the scenes commentary, talking about some of the cool things that happened, maybe filming those videos, or some things that you didn't see in the video. All right, well, we won't say goodbye because we'll see you in the next video.